All right, so I was going through the books that I recently picked up in that Golden Age collection, and I came across this one. It has an issue, and I thought it would be useful to show it to help people with identifying these types of problems. So this is Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, number 25. Now you can see here, it says volume 3, number 1. So that's actually issue number 25. Each volume has 12 issues, and so volume 1 had 12, volume 2 had 12, now we're number 1 of 3, so that's 25. So that's not the issue, but what you can see here is you can see that there are 2 tears at the staples. And so you think like, okay, detached cover, and you can see the staples through the holes. So at first it does appear like this one is okay, that it's just a detached cover. But then when you open it up and you get a little better view of the alignment of the staples with these tears. And you can see that this top staple aligns really well. Like that looks like this staple could have been in this cover. So if we, back it up a little bit, you can see like this top staple here aligns really well. This bottom staple though, you can tell this one doesn't really align. You've got the tear that goes a little above, which is possible, but then on the bottom, you have the bottom of the staple here that is going into clean paper, like paper that has no issue. And so even if if you start shifting it around and you go, okay, well maybe it was stapled offset from the cover so that this one's aligned. Now this one isn't. There's no place here where this one aligns. So right away, I'm going, okay, this is just like that Action Comics 89. Somebody took the interior from a different book and put it inside of this cover. And which sucks, this one isn't nearly as valuable as Action Comics 89, so it's not nearly as much of a hit in terms of the value. Now you can also see that the edge doesn't totally line up with the interior. That could have been from, like spine rolls or just the cuts, but that's also a little bit of a flag, but not totally. Like you can have situations like that. The bigger red flag is how this just doesn't align here with the missing paper. So I immediately go, okay, this is not the correct interior, but then I've got to try to figure out which interior this came from. Because you can see, if we zoom in down here in the indicia, it doesn't actually give you the issue number or the volume or anything on the indicia like you would normally see with a lot of comics. All you can see is that it was published in 1942. So that's the last date here. So this was from 1942, which is the same year as Walt Disney's Comics and Stories number 25. So it is actually an interior from one of the issues from the same year. So what I did was I did the same thing as I did with the Action Comics 89, went into Google, I typed in Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, and I typed in a prize find, because they do give you the titles of all these different stories. Like here we've got a prize find, we've got Pluto Does the Job, Pick Up Sticks, Rub-a-Dub-Dub, these types of things. And so I typed in a prize find, and what popped up was volume 2, issue 11, which is issue number 23. Then I went to the Grand Comics database, looked up issue number 23, and I was able to find these stories listed on that Grand Comics database page, like Rub-a-Dub-Dub, and I don't remember if Pick Up Sticks was there or not, but prize find. And so you find those, then it's like, okay, I know that this is then the interior from issue number 23. We've got the cover from issue number 25. Similar to Action Comics 89, there is still some value there. It is still an interior from a 1942 Walt Disney's Comics and Stories number 23, and a pretty cool cover with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Donald Duck from issue 25. So still some value there, but again, not as much as it would have been if it was all the correct interior and cover combined. But hopefully this helps you if you ever come across this. Whenever you have a detached cover, you should immediately question if it's the correct interior. So always check staple alignment. That's one of the first things. Check staple alignment. Then there are some other things you can check, like maybe if there's like some staining on the cover and there's no issue on the interior. Some other little things that might come up that you could maybe identify. But staple alignment is the dead giveaway And just make sure to always check that, because you don't want to be passing that book on to someone else if you do sell it, trade it, whatever it is, as being misrepresentative of what it actually is. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you enjoy this video. See you on the next one.